Hi, welcome back to this Wednesday edition of Focal Point on AFR Talk. As we have been reminding you over the course of this week, this is National Collection Week for Operation Christmas Child. This is an opportunity. We partner every year with Samaritan's Purse, one of the richest things that we do, the most satisfying, rewarding things that we can do with you and our listening audiences to participate in Operation Christmas Child. If you participated in this before, you know this is a matter of filling shoeboxes with toys, supplies, other necessity items, hygiene items for poverty-stricken children around the world. These shoeboxes go to children, needy children in 130 countries around the world. It's a tangible expression of God's love. They know that somebody's thinking about them, that somebody cares for them, that they are not forgotten. In every shoebox is a gospel storybook, which is in their own language, so they can read about the eternal love of God in Christ in their own language. Samaritan's Purse, this is the organization that is run by Franklin Graham. This organization works with local churches and ministry partners to deliver the gifts. So these gifts are being delivered by people that work in those areas, they work in those regions, and they are therefore in a position to provide follow-up spiritual care and nurture for these people. So it's a terrific ministry project of Samaritan's Purse. We're happy every single year to partner with them to do this. If you want to find out more, you can go to SamaritansPurse.org, SamaritansPurse.org, and you can find out there what to put in these shoe boxes and where to drop them off. This is National Collection Week, so we can get these shoe boxes to kids in time to celebrate the birthday of Christ. 3,700 collection sites around the country. You can find out where the one is closest to you at SamaritansPurse.org. Now, to help give us a little more information about this project is Alex Nsengimana, or Nsengimana. Am I saying that right, Alex?
That's right, yeah. It's good enough. It's Nsengimana.
Nsengimana. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you for the help. I've got a little pronunciation guide there, but being linguistically challenged, I need your help. Okay, well, great. Well, thank you, Alex. It's great to be with you. And you are serving right now. All right, you bet. And you're serving right now as a national spokesperson for Operation Christmas Child. And you've got kind of a remarkable story yourself, Alex. You are from Rwanda. You grew up in Rwanda, and the path that brought you into the orbit of Operation Christmas Child and to the place where you're now speaking for them nationally is a pretty remarkable story. So tell us a little bit about what your life was like in Rwanda as a child.
Yeah, I grew up in the suburbs of the capital city of Kigali, Rwanda. And growing up at the age of 4, my mom died, and I never knew my dad. So I grew up being raised by my grandmother, who really loved me, and her faith was my faith. And when the war broke out of the tribal war in 1994, both my grandmother and my uncle were killed during this war. And throughout the war, I just ran from place to place, and with no one. My aunt, who was left to take care of me, also got sick after the war because of lack of proper care during the war. And so she decided to put me in an orphanage. And when I got to the orphanage, that's when I got a word that she also passed away. And a time when I was really hopeless and desperate and in despair, Samaritan's Purse was in Rwanda trying to help the people medicine-wise and connecting with, bringing in pastors to help people heal. But also their project of Operation Christmas Child wanted to help out few of the 400,000 orphans that were left in the country. And so that's when they came to my orphanage, and they delivered shoe boxes to all of us. We were about 250 kids in the orphanage, and that's when they came to my orphanage and they handed out shoe boxes.
Now, Alex, when this war broke out, this genocidal war broke out in Rwanda in 1994, people are familiar with that. Don Cheadle made a movie about that called Hotel Rwanda and all that. How old were you when that war broke out and you were forced to run for your life? I
was 6 years old.
Wow, just 6 years old. And so you wound up at this orphanage. So you don't know your dad. Your mom died. he wasn't around, and your mom died of HIV/AIDS. Is that correct?
That's right.
And then your uncle and grandmother take care of you, but then they are murdered during this genocide, and you finally wind up in an orphanage, really, with nobody that has around to care for you, show you any direct love. And it's at that point where you received one of these gifts, one of these shoe boxes from Operation Christmas Child. So I guess you're about 10 years old at this time at this orphanage. So what did it... Go ahead.
Yeah, it was actually a couple of years after the genocide. I was 7 years old when I got the box. The genocide took place between only 3 months, and the brutality was that in those 3 months, close to 1 million people were killed.
Now, how did you? I mean, it's got to be devastating. But you witnessed the death of your grandmother, your uncle. How did that impact you? How did you handle that?
Yeah, for many years, I really, even before we got the boxes, we were, many of us were having nightmares all the time. And for me, I was angry. I was really asking myself why I was alive. And when everything that happened, I walked right through it. And I never knew why I was alive. And I always asked, if there's a God who cared for his people, why would he sit down and watch while these people, the people of Rwanda are being killed? And so I was just lost. And it wasn't through the people that came in my life later that helped me heal.
Now, when you think back, Alex, to the day where you received that shoebox gift through Operation Christmas Child, what do you remember about that day?
Oh, I remember each and every moment of it. I remember sitting down and opening that gift and seeing all the items that were in the box, the school supplies, the hygiene items, and the little toy cars and the little soccer balls and all the socks and the underwear that were in the box, and also the smells, the how everything felt so different, and it was our first gift ever in my life. So holding that gift and the smiles that we all had in the orphanage was such a joyful moment that actually there's a moment of joy that I will never get expressed enough when I'm sitting on my bed and looking through that box and just being excited, being excited for the small things like a hair comb that I kept for 3 years, and so it was a great moment that I'll never forget.
So how did this, it seems like a simple thing. It's just a shoebox. It's kind of stuffed with things. You can go to SamaritansPurse.org and find out what to put in your shoebox for a child like Alex's in one of these 130 countries around the world. So what was kind of the lasting impact? It seems like a simple thing, Alex, but what was the lasting impact of receiving this shoebox as a Christmas gift in your life?
Yeah, the lasting impact on that shoebox made in my life is that it planted that seed of hope and love that I didn't really see it because I was so excited at that moment and blinded by the candy canes and all the cool items in the box. But a year later, I was in Uganda with the African Children's Choir, and I was learning English, and I was learning about God, and I was learning about the Bible, and I started to see how this box really had planted those seeds of hope that made me even more hungry of hope and love. And that's when I really came to faith, and seeing that my life wasn't saved coincidentally, that there was a reason, there was a purpose to me being alive. And what is that purpose, and what is that plan, so that I can follow it?
And Alex, you had the opportunity to go to Bible college here in the United States, just recently completed your degree, and I know in 2013 you had the opportunity to go back to Rwanda with Operation Christmas Child, back to the same orphanage where you had lived. Tell us what that experience was like.
Yeah, well, I got the opportunity over the past couple of years. I've been going to school and graduated in May, and then went back to Rwanda with Operation Christmas Child, and being in that orphanage. And that was my third time being there because I still have relationships with the people who were in the orphanage, and I love the kids in there. And it was such a great moment for me to come to plant the seeds that were planted in my life several years ago when I was 7 years old. And being there and seeing the kids smile seeing the kids being excited over a gift in their lives. It was another powerful moment for me to stand in the same place that I received my shoebox and hand out a shoebox.
One other thing that happened, Alex, I understand, is that when you were on that same trip, you had an opportunity to visit a man who was in prison or in jail at the time, the man who killed members of your own family. You actually met with him. Tell us how that went.
Yeah, so over the years, people helped me heal because I struggled, and I would read the Bible, and it would tell me that we are all created in God's image, and I would also read the Lord's Prayer, where it says that forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And for many years, I was living in bondage of bitterness, but as people helped me heal, and God uses so many people, I said to pray, Lord, help me do it. I forgive these people. But help me do it face to face. And so it was my prayer for the longest time that on this trip I tried to meet with them, and I was so thankful that God opened that opportunity to go to that prison. And when I got to the prison, a process that would have taken about 3 weeks, we went through it in about 3 hours. And we were able to meet with him. We were able to plant those seeds of hope and love and forgiveness that know that he can live in freedom that Jesus Christ offers. That he will never have peace until he comes to know him, just like I was. Like I would never have peace.
Alex, we have just 30 seconds left. What would you say to somebody that's thinking about participating in Operation Shoebox right now, but they haven't made up their mind? What would you say to them?
I would say that Operation Christmas Child is a way, packing a shoebox for Operation Christmas Child would be a way to make a difference in the kids' lives so they can come to know the Lord.
My guest has been Alex Nsengimana. He grew up in Rwanda, received a shoebox through Operation Christmas Child, had a dramatic impact on his life and the whole future of his life. You can make a similar impact on a child through Operation Christmas Child. Go to SamaritansPurse.org. Alex, God bless you, and thank you for taking time to chat with us.
Thank you so much, and may God bless all the listeners.
Back in 2, Focal Point AFR Talk.